Apple Watch Demo, also known as Apple A1623 unit or Apple Watch iPad Demo Combo, is perhaps one of the rarest shipping Apple products in existence. Welcome to another Apple Demo video, and today we're going to be looking at another piece of Apple history. The year was 2014, and Apple had just announced a brand new line of hardware that the company hadn't ever produced before. There had been much speculation with Apple and a smartwatch for years before this. However, a major problem arose with actually demoing the experience that the user would get when using Apple Watch. With Apple Watch OS 1.0, many functions of the Apple Watch would essentially just completely not work if an iPhone wasn't paired in nearby. So Apple Watch Demo was created to help aid with showing off the features and having a quote-unquote iPhone that the watch is paired to. The actual purpose for Apple Watch Demo existing is to give the user a very good insight into how the Apple Watch experience will be. Apple Watch Demo consists of an iPad Mini 2 and an Apple Watch, both of which have been modified and have custom housings to fit in this combined unit. Because this is two devices in one, that caused the average resale price to be around $1,500 per unit, and on an average, a store would have around 3 to 4 of these. It would look that these units overall achieved what they aimed to achieve, and they served their purpose. However, with that being said and all, once these units were deemed obsolete, Apple kicked its ass to the fucking curb and said goodbye. As with most rare, limited, and collectible Apple products, there was an immediate market for this thing. Consumers couldn't just contact Apple and ask to purchase one of these. You had to be Apple authorized to even get the opportunity to purchase one, and even then, they were extremely expensive. And even when these units were decommissioned, they still didn't get a break. Apple basically ordered all of these units to be completely destroyed, which is why if you can even find one of these, the most common condition you'll find them in is completely shattered and non-functional. But similar to other rare and obscure Apple devices, such as prototypes, some of these units managed to escape. However, even in the afterlife, the fate of these units is still very grim. By far, Apple Watch Demo has to be one of the most abused, non-updatable, breakable, and defective Apple products ever manufactured. Here are just a few problems that loom over Apple Watch Demo units that haven't been destroyed and still exist today. Usually software updates bring many new features to a device. However, this is the one Apple product that Apple specifically says in the documentation for Apple Watch Demo not to update. Essentially, if you update Apple Watch Demo to iOS 12, which is the latest version of iOS that supports the iPad Mini 2 and installs completely fine on this unit with absolutely no warning as to what it's going to do, you are fucked. Because there's absolutely nothing you can do to make this unit go back into the state that it was before the update. Arguably one of the most valuable parts of the unit, which is the actual demo content itself, will be completely removed once you update it because iOS 12 just doesn't support it. Once all is said and done after the update, you're essentially left with a stripped down iPad Mini 2 on iOS 12, which is slow as shit and really doesn't do that much because it's not even a proper iPad. And I think that's a bit too high of a price to pay for a software update. Another common issue you'll find with these units is physical damage done to the actual iPad glass. Potential physical damage was not factored into the designing process of this actual iPad unit, and that does make sense because it's only designed to be a store demo, but for collectors, this is absolute hell. Somehow, and don't ask me why, even when packaged properly, these things still magically come completely shattered in the mail. I have no clue how when something is surrounded by bubble wrap and a bunch of packing material, how it arrives damaged, but hey, these things managed to pull it off because hey, they didn't have enough problems before, right? Used condition Apple Watch demos often have a ton of power issues. The batteries inside of these units are often highly degraded and no longer function properly, and many charging components inside of these units often fail from getting too hot. It was approximated that around 60 to 70% of all issues relating to Apple Watch demo when these units were deployed in retail settings were related to either units not turning on, expanded batteries, or just batteries that would no longer hold a charge. As a little cherry on top, for all of the issues that were mentioned before, it's almost impossible to find parts for these things. While some of the internals are one-to-one with ones found in a normal iPad mini 2, all of the parts that can commonly break, including the charging circuitry, the home button, the power button, and the very fragile glass screen, cannot be found on any part reselling websites. While these units were made on a mass production scale, it definitely did not come close to any other Apple product, because these were only designed for store use. And that, combined with the fact that Apple requested for these devices to be destroyed, makes these extremely hard to come by and extremely rare to find in any condition. In conclusion, Apple Watch Demo has to be one of the most, if not the most, disrespected Apple products of all time. But seemingly with this disrespect also makes it one of the most rare Apple products of all time. For most people, this device just remains a distant memory of some weird Apple display unit thing that they tried out before purchasing an Apple Watch. But for collectors, this piece of hardware is highly sought over. The fates of these units are a real shame, as it's more than obvious that a ton of effort went into creating this. But I myself am glad that I've managed to get the units that I have and save and preserve a piece of Apple history. I'd like to thank you for watching my video, and if you enjoyed, please leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, please even consider subscribing. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.